Hey guys, welcome to Easiest Platinums. This is a series where I play an entire game from front to back and earn the Platinum Trophy. And I'm going to show you how to do it in this game called Her Majesty's Spiffing. This is a point-and-click adventure game from Billy Goat Entertainment. And the game is actually really short. In fact, the developer doesn't even hide from that. There's a gold trophy called That's All We Can Afford. So the game doesn't really take itself seriously. There's a lot of British humor in this, and there's actually some really pretty clever lines. There's a few moments where I actually laughed out loud. So as far as short and easy platinums, this is actually a good game, albeit maybe a little bit more pricey than it should be. I think it's $18.49 here at release. Hopefully it maybe goes on sale, but if you're looking for an easy platinum you can get in an hour or even less, this definitely is your game. So again, this is a point and click game. We're going to walk you through all the steps to get all the trophies in a single playthrough. Now, to do that, we're going to have to actually create a few different manual save spots, earn a trophy, reload the save, and then continue on. Don't worry, I'm going to spell all that out for you. And if you want, I'll put an actual link in the description to all the steps that you should take in the order that you should take them in order to get the Platinum Trophy. But we're going to go and hang out with English and Jones here in the spaceship as soon as the game starts, which looks like it's loading in here at the moment. Now this game, like I mentioned, just came out, so it's right at the very end of the year. It will definitely qualify and probably be on the list of easiest platinum trophies when I do my trophy awards, which you'll start seeing those coming out in January.
Here we are, Sub-Lieutenant Jones. Space.
Alright, so here we go.
I am Captain Frank.
Now I'm going to skip as much dialogue as I can. In fact, let's go ahead and put on the subtitles. Can't always skip every dialogue section, but I'm going to skip whatever I can. So if you're looking for an actual playthrough with showing everything, then this isn't it. This is showing you how to get the Platinum Trophy.
To seek out new civilizations. To boldly go where no man has gone before.
Alright, so here I can skip the dialogue. As soon as we get through this entire dialogue, we're going to have the option to leave the chair by hitting the circle button. We do not want to exit the chair. First thing we want to do, and we're going to get a trophy, is hold X over Jones and examine him.
It's Wales' own son.
Now you want to hold X and examine him once more. And you're going to keep doing this until you get the trophy called Every Breath You Take.
It's Alad, the grommet to my Wallace. It's Alad, the Andrew Ridgely to my George Michael.
Stop looking at me, boyo. You're starting to creep me out.
So there you go. You've creeped Jones out. You will now get the trophy. And you'll get another trophy for exiting the chair called One Small Step. Now the next thing you need to do is interact with the tray table on the back of your chair. You'll push it up. And at that point, you can now take the safety instruction card out of the chair. So pick that up. Now equip it. You can hit the triangle button to equip, and then you want to examine it. And then turn it around and interact with the paperclip. So just press the X button, and there's the Don't Show Me This Tip Again trophy. Now we're going to exit the room. Now once we exit the room, we're going to be in a hallway. We'll travel through it several times throughout this short playthrough. But as soon as you enter this hallway, look at this machine on the left. There's a gravity simulation here. You want to examine that.
That's the gravity simulation.
Once you examine that, you'll get the gravity simulation switch trophy. Now continue down the hall, enter the sitting room. Now you're going to notice as soon as we enter, there's a treadmill right here to our right. We have to get a trophy for that later. You can't get it now. The first thing we're going to do is equip the paperclip. So if you hit triangle, you can select the paperclip and then select equip. Interact with this drive over here, and we're going to stick the paperclip in there, and out will pop a floppy disk. So we're going to interact and grab the floppy disk. Now if you take out the floppy disk and examine it, and then you rotate it, if you turn it around, you'll notice there's a lock on the back that you can toggle. There is a trophy for locking this disc. Unfortunately, it's not at this point. It'll be later in the game. So now that we've got that, we're going to grab the game controller here, the PlayStation controller, pick it up, interact with that.
Of course, it lacks
I believe you're playing on PC. It's an Xbox controller. But now that we got the game controller, we're going to go into the kitchen. Now, once we're in the kitchen, we're going to talk to Gertie. Gertie is the robot in the corner that makes tea. What you need to do is select the talk to option, and exhaust this until you get the trophy called Bring Me My Detonators.
Remember that time you fell foul to a case of mistaken identity at Moss Eisley? Was Vista as bad for you as it was for the rest of us? You know, we have a lot in common. In the movies, the evil villain always ends up being the supercomputer or Alan Rickman. What are your prime directives?
All right, so there you go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to grab 2 coffee mugs on the table. So we're going to grab Alan's mug, which is the one here on the right, closest to the door.
Isn't it?
And then we're going to grab English's mug right there. Now make sure you take note of whose mug is who. That'll come into play a little bit later. So now select equip each of the mugs, and then we're going to go to Gertie and fill up these mugs, fill them up with some tea. So once you've equipped it, come up to Gertie and then use that object on her or him, or it rather.
It really takes the misery out of making tea.
So that's 1 cup of tea rather. Equip the next cup, interact with Gertie with that object. Now, the next thing we're going to do after this is go, if you look in the left side of the room, you see a green soap bottle. We're going to actually grab that, add that to our inventory.
Of course, the downside of having a sentient being responsible for making.
And then once we've got this in our possession, if you go to the inventory again, you're going to hit triangle to open up the pouch. You're going to want to combine the green soap. So select it, hit combine, and then interact with your coffee, or Jones's coffee. Just try both of them. It'll be one of them, and that'll earn you the inconceivable trophy. You won't actually put any soap in the coffee, but you'll get the trophy. Next up, open the refrigerator. Inside of here is cheese. So we want to grab the cheese.
Plenty to share.
I won't spoil it, but there's actually a closet door on the left side of the room. If you open it up, it's pretty funny. So now at this point, we're going to actually go back to the cockpit and sit in our chair. Now this is going to be the location of our first manual save. What's going to happen is we have to create a save, earn a trophy, reload that save, and get a different trophy, because there's 2 different ways this will play out. Each of them has a trophy tied to it. So sit in the chair. Now create a manual save. So you can create, you have 4 slots. You can create one right here. It's going to be our first. Now, to get the next trophy, which is called Sharing is Caring, what you need to do is equip your tea. Make sure it's English's mug. Look at the bottom right, you'll see it says English's mug. And you want to interact with Jones with your mug.
Never mind, boyo.
Make sure you don't give him his own mug. And that'll get you the Sharing is Caring trophy. Now, by doing this, you're going to miss out on the flight section. So as soon as we get the trophy...
What? But that's disgusting. It's got your saliva over it and everything. That is totally against health and safety.
So as soon as we get the trophy, we're going to reload the save, and we're going to give him his own mug. So there's the trophy. So load, and then take that first save slot there. Now remember, this flight section that we're heading into is skipped if you get the Sharing is Caring trophy. That's why we had to load the save. So now we want to make sure we select Jones's mug and then interact with him with that mug.
Mind, boyo. How did you manage to carry it in there without spilling any?
Well, I've just been very careful. Ever since that whole deep water.
Alright, so this is going to lead to a flight section. Jones is going to ask you to take the controls while he drinks his tea.
Wouldn't want to spill anything over these expensive.
And during this
electronics.
flight section, there's a trophy called Call Auto Glass, and that is for crashing into an ejected fuel cell. So during this section here, you're just going to start randomly hitting buttons and switches. Just keep randomly hitting them, and one of them is going to eject a fuel cell.
Easy. Keep it steady.
Now it's random, so I don't know if it's timed, but you're going to see the notification up top. It says that it jettisoned a fuel cell. Now once it does that, you're going to see a container float out from the right side of the screen.
Keep it steady.
Now there's a lever on the bottom there. You see my left hand, I'm on it right now. As soon as that container's in front of you, you want to push that forward so you speed up into that crashed fuel cell. And that'll earn you the Call Auto Glass trophy. So at this point, we're just going to continue on hitting buttons and switches. And then eventually there's going to be a cow. Yes, a cow.
Cow?
Alright, so the game kind of has a weird, awkward transition here, but
Look what you've done.
there we
Told you
go.
to keep it
Jones
steady.
spilled the coffee on the control panel once again. So again, there's two ways that plays out depending on which coffee or
Should be more.
tea mug you give him.
We'll have plenty of time to argue about this now that we're stranded. Unless, of course, we can replace the controls with something else.
When you say.
Alright, so we need to replace the controls with something, and that's what the PlayStation controller we grabbed is for earlier.
Honestly, you're worse than
But
the
first, we need to find batteries for it. So to do that, we're going to go to the bedroom, which is a new room we haven't been in yet. It is, you access it from the sitting room. So this is the sitting room. The bedroom is going to be right next door here. So interact with this door, and once inside, you're going to see a locker, a red locker. Interact with this left one here. It won't open, but you'll see the batteries from on top fall down. You can then pick that up.
With great power.
Now we're going to combine the batteries with the controller. Now while we're in here, there's another trophy. And you see the little soccer football players here in the middle of the room. All you need to do is step on them, and you'll get the leg breaker trophy. So over here in the corner is a rubber glove on the sink. Pick that up.
I have a bit more girth.
Alright, so now we're going to go back to the cockpit. And we're going to get back into our seat, and then we're going to give the controller, equip the controller, and then interact with Jones with it. Alright, so get in your seat again, equip the controller, and then hand it to Jones.
Replace the controls you broke yet?
Here, plug this in. See if it works.
No joy, boyo.
Alright, so now we need to install a driver, of course. So now in order to do this, we're going to go back to the sitting room. And then we're going to use that disc that we popped out of there earlier. We're going to actually put it back in. Of course, now that I'm thinking about it, I wonder if we could have just left this here to begin with. But nonetheless, we're going to equip the disc, interact with the drive there on the left. And at this point, we're going to use the computer. And unfortunately, it's got a dial-up modem, so this will take a while. A little while.
I just need to connect to the internet first. Bingo! Found it! Fantastic. Now to quickly copy this driver.
Alright, this is where we're going to get the one can never be too careful trophy, and that's for locking the disc.
Sorry.
So once this plays out,
It'll be starting to get dark outside. Best check up on Alec and see if he's dried off.
make sure you grab the disc. And at this point, equip it,
It's remarkable
examine
how
it.
much information can be stored on something so compact.
Turn it around,
It's compact.
hit the X button to
Still
toggle
large
the
enough to
lock
grip.
there. And there's the gold trophy.
Cutting edge 20th century tech.
Alright, so once again, we're going to go back to the cockpit seat. Now, as you enter here, you're going to notice Jones has fallen asleep. So what we're going to do is sit down, equip our coffee or tea mug. So go and equip the English's mug. While using that, interact with Jones, and you will get the I can't believe you've done this trophy.
What's going on? What are you playing at, boyo?
I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. It felt like.
So there you go.
someone
Next
else
up, you
was
need to
in
give
control
Jones the
of
disc.
GTA.
The disc, of course, has the drivers on it. Equip the disc. Give it to
Here,
Jones.
Install this, and we should be underway again.
You could have used my USB pen, you know.
There's some good dialogue there, by the way, that I'm totally skipping through. Alright, so we need to reboot the ship's computer systems, and this is going to be in the lower deck. Now, this is going to be our second manual save location. So there's two ways this plays out. You can use the soap in order to allow you to squeeze down here, or we can go exercise to lose a little weight to get down here. So first, create a manual save. Very important. You do this in this order. Save, put it in a new save spot. Now you want to make sure you use the soap first. So equip the washi liquid. Use the washi liquid on the hatch.
Triple action. Removes grease.
And this is going to get you the
whites
trophy
odors,
called
preserves
What
one's
a
dignity
Thrill.
While attempting to squeeze through a narrow opening. The holy trinity of.
So interact with the
Want a job
hatch.
done around here, you've got to do
As
it
you're coming
yourself.
down the ladder, you will get the trophy.
Whilst that did smell like a spring breeze, it did.
So there you go. But doing that will lock you out of 2 trophies. Cardio Bra and another one later at the very, very end of the game. So reload that last save. And now we have our washi liquid bottle still in our possession, so let's interact with the hatch.
I haven't been up here long.
So now do not use the washi liquid. Instead, we're going to go to the treadmill. And we're going to lose a little weight. And this is going to get you the Cardio Bra trophy. So that now you can jump on here. Now to run on the treadmill, you just hit the X and square buttons back and forth as quickly as you can to run. And if you hit them fast enough and long enough, English will start sweating and you'll get the trophy.
It's just like exercising at the gym.
So you will be locked out of that trophy if you use the washi liquid to squeeze yourself down the hatch, as well as the another trophy at the very end of the game. But because we reloaded the save, we're able to get all of them in one single playthrough. So at this point, we're going to go, we equip the glove, but we have to go down to the hatch to the lower
Want a
area.
job done around here, you've got to do it yourself.
Now the door just to the right as we're coming down, inside of here has a blue compressor. So with the glove equipped, we're going to use the glove on the blue compressor. And what we're trying to do is make the glove bigger so English's hand will fit inside of it. So now that we have attached it, we want to use the air compressor. Alright, so now we're going to pick that up and head down to the engineering door. So we're going to exit this and travel all the way to the other end. Now there is another door halfway through here, And in retrospect, I wish I'd gone in there and interacted with a box. There's a box next to the typewriter. I'll do all of it later, but it might be best if you enter that door right there now, interact with the Schrodinger's cat box. I didn't do it. I think it would have saved me time had I done that. But after you interact with that box, come out here into the engineering room. And here's an emergency Brexit button. Best not we made that mistake before. I think that's pretty funny. Alright, so come down here. In the corner is a screwdriver inside this toolbox. So open up the toolbox. You'll get the screwdriver. Then with the rubber glove equipped, interact with this door. Alright, with the door open, interact with the panel now. That's all you need to do. And then we will go find Jones. He's actually going to be in the sitting room.
No, that's, yes, right. Oops, that's so clumsy.
That's a little funny bit. So we're going to come up here, again, find Jones in the sitting room. So we're going to have to exit out, go back up the ladder up to the main deck. Alright, so we're going to find Jones in the back of this room here. We're going to have to talk to him, exhaust all the dialogue options. He's going to ask you to get a motor. He's trying to build a rover. So exhaust all these options here, so talk to him.
Sub-Lieutenant Jones!
Aye, boyo?
What is it you're... Who's driving?
Alright, so at this point, he's going to ask you to get a motor. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in here. This is our final manual save location, because again, you have 2 trophy paths here. So create a save. Now you're going to see this locker. You still can't open it. To open it, you need to use the screwdriver. But first, again, create a 3rd manual save spot. Now that we've done that, we're going to actually use the screwdriver. So equip the screwdriver, use it on this red door that we couldn't open until now, and out will pop the motor, as well as something else. You'll see here in just a second.
Aha!
So there you go. She's behind you. Yes, she is. Now that you got that trophy, reload the save. Because if we give Jones that motor, we are not going to be able to get the premium engineering trophy for finding the French camp with the rover. So reload the save. Now instead of opening that red door with the screwdriver, hold on to the screwdriver, because once you've used it there, you lose it. So equip the screwdriver. And you know Jones asked you to get the motor, but if you give him the screwdriver instead, you're going to be able to have a better rover. So equip it and then use that object on Jones here.
I don't suppose you'd have any use for this premium German motorized screwdriver.
Ah, cheers, bud.
Sub-Lieutenant!
Alright, so the next section, this is the rover. If you gave Jones the motor, your rover's not going to make it too far because the motor will blow out. But if you gave him the screwdriver, your rover is going to make it all the way over to the French camp. So this is actually going to be outside.
Launching probe.
You have control of the rover. Left stick controls the speed, right stick controls steering. So with this motor, as long as you gave him the screwdriver, you can do this. Come over here and you'll find the French camp. You'll see their ship and get the premium engineering trophy. So now it's time for Jones and English to actually travel outside themselves. And there's quite a few trophies we're going to get here.
Quickly! We've been outmaneuvered! Someone's got here before us. We need to find out who that Jollywell is and eject them from Her Majesty's New World post-haste. Set us down.
Now at this point, you've actually seen the entire, almost every single room and area in this game. It's a small game. Alright, so once outside, there's a trophy called +1 Geology for finding all the rocks. Now there's 4 rocks, or 6 rocks total. There's going to be 4 of them around your ship in this area. And there's going to be a ladder that goes down to a lower area. But in this top area, there's 4 rocks we need to find. So I'm going to go look for them here in just a second. Let me skip through all this dialogue here. Alright, so somewhere, I forget where. There's actually a crate here, by the way, you need to interact with as well. So let's just go ahead and do this. Inside of here is going to be some binoculars. Alright, so before I go talk to him again, I'm going to go find these rocks. There's 2 of them. Actually, I have to head closer to the screen here. So there's one. Select the top option, the eyeball.
This is one of those situations where you're stuck between a rock and...
There's another one if I head towards the screen as well. It's right there. Now there's going to be 2 kind of on the left side of this area.
I fear I'm at risk of repeating myself.
Number 3. And number 4 is actually going to be further back in the corner.
It's one of those situations where you're stuck between a rock and... well, more rocks. It isn't really the sort of environment that...
Alright, now there's 2 that are going to be passed once we get down the ladder. We can examine them. But first thing we need to do is go talk to Jones.
Look, boyo, over... Would it trouble you immensely to use another point of reference, Sub-Lieutenant Jones? Fine. Put that down, you damn dirty ape! Come on, Sub-Lieutenant Jones. Let's get after him.
Alright, so now that we got a way to get down, we're going to go find the 2 rocks. But before we actually do that, there's another trophy called Damn You All. A Planet of the Apes reference, of course. So once you get down this little ladder here, you're going to see the Statue of Liberty. It's going to be just to our left. So just kind of walk up over to it until that trophy pops. There it goes. Now let's go find the final 2 rocks for the +1 Geology Gold Trophy. One is right here, right before this little blue object stuck in the ground. And the next one will be just past it. So there you go. That's all 6 rock locations. Alright, so we're going to continue down the path. You're going to see some shrubbery over here in the corner. What you want to do is look at this. And grab, and you'll see there's a little shovel, a little tiny shovel thing. You're going to pick that up. We're going to hold on to that for later. And we're going to meet the 2 French guys. Now there's another trophy here for, it's called Cringer. And that's for selecting the option to summon the power of Grayskull. So your first option when you have the choice between what you want to say, select the bottom one. So there you go, by the power of Grayskull. I think you can actually select all of those. I don't think you have to select this first. But selecting this one will get you the Cringer trophy. And definitely a cringe-worthy joke. Alright, so skip through all of this dialogue here. As soon as this is over, you're going to see Beagle Tutu, which is the name of your rover. We're going to go interact with that and pick up a rock that's inside of it. The rock is for use at the very end of the game. I suppose you can pick this up later if you want. But since I'm here and it's fresh in my mind, I'm just going to go ahead and interact, grab the rock out of the rover,
Let's try
and we're going to put this in our back pocket.
before its untimely passing, the Beagle 2-2 appears to have discovered.
Alright, so now we're going to go back into our ship, so we're going to do a little backtracking here. And we're actually going to head to the main level, the main deck of the ship, travel into the sitting room, and then from the sitting room go into the bedroom, and in the back is going to be a bathroom. An area we hadn't seen yet, because there was no reason to go in there until now.
I won't be long, Sub-Lieutenant Jones. Amuse yourself until I get back.
I'll try and recollect the last couple of hours.
Alright, so as I mentioned, we're going to the bathroom that's inside the bedroom. And we're going to use the shovel to dig in some cat litter. And inside that cat litter is going to be a metal detector. The first things first, we've got to get there. So go through the airlock, then go up the ladder. Travel down the hall to the sitting room. Take the first door to our right. Now we are in the bedroom. Alright, so go to the back, head to the right, you'll see the bathroom here. Then you'll see the cat litter. So go ahead and dig into that. So there we go. We got a metal detector. It is automatically equipped for you. So what we're going to do is go back out to the sitting room. And in the sitting room, we're going to use the metal detector on the couch. Inside this couch, we are going to find a purse that's going to have a bunch of coins in it. We're going to take this purse with the coins, and we're going to go down to what I like to call the frog room. It's also where the Schrodinger's cat box is located, and a couple other trophies. But we're going to use this coin, the coins inside the purse to interact with the claw machine to get a frog. Ultimately, is what we're going to do. So now we're going to enter the lab. And now we're going to have part one of the simultaneously no earned trophy. This is the Schrodinger's cat trophy. What you need to do is interact with this box in this room at 2 different times in the game. I didn't know that when I was first doing this, so that's why I wish I had entered this area first. But in the back right corner here, you're going to see the box. Interact with that, you'll hear the cat meow.
Property of Irvin Schrödinger. The box is sealed shut. Why? It would be impossible.
So if you come here at a later point and interact with the box, you will not hear the cat meow, and that is when you get the while simultaneously no earned trophy. At the point here, I did not know that.
Very odd.
So I probably should have popped into this room a little bit earlier in the game and done the part 1. So this is a 2-part trophy. So I kind of stood there for a little while, but next to it you'll see a typewriter. Ironically, you can save the game at any time, but there is a trophy for interacting. This is, of course, a joke on the old games, where Resident Evil type games, where you had to do that in order to save your game. And you got the Master on Unlocking Trophies trophy. Alright, so now that's done, we're going to head over to the left side here. This is the frogs. What you need to do, interact with the phonograph here. There's a record. It's got some heavy metal frog music if you play it. What we need to do is equip it, or examine it rather, flip it over, and then back out. Equip it, and then use it with on this machine here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put the frogs to sleep, and we're going to get the Lullabies to Paralyze trophy for doing it. So that's why we had to flip the record, because it's a more soothing song here. So you see the little green gauge on the phonograph there. You got to keep the needle in the green in order to play the song. So you're going to pedal with X and square. You can't do it too fast, so adjust your speed so the needle's still in the green. And eventually the frogs are going to fall asleep, and you'll get the Lullabies the Paralyzed trophy. Lullabies the Paralyzed would be a great band name. Next up, equip the purse, interact with the claw machine here.
I may as well give it a go.
Now there's another trophy called Nailed It, and that is for failing to pick up a frog. So our goal, your quest here, is to pick up a frog. But to get this trophy, you have to make sure you don't pick up a frog on your first attempt. So I'm just going to bring the claw over here. Make sure I do not pick up a frog. Nailed it. Alright, so now we do have to pick up a frog. This one looks good right here.
Gotcha.
It'd be embarrassing if I had actually missed the frog. Alright, so make sure you interact down here. You gotta pick up the
You know
frog.
the old saying?
You're gonna open that
Frog in the
little
hand is worth
thing.
two
You're
in
gonna
the
open it up.
biological
Alright, so now
testing.
you're gonna combine the frog with the cheese. And you have to make sure you still have a fully intact piece of cheese. If you had given the French guys the cheese, they would shoot holes in it. That would lock you out of a trophy. So make sure you have a fully intact cheese. Now I'm going to go to the Schrodinger's box here again.
Box is sealed shut.
Nothing. The cat still meows.
It would be impossible to detect
I have to return here later.
life form inside.
And I will. Alright, so now we're going to go and exit through the airlock and return all the way back to the French guys. No, we don't want to go up that ladder. So the next trophy we're going to get is called Cheese Sir, I Want Some More. And that is for getting a second piece of cheese. And the only way that works is if you've combined the frog with the fully intact piece of cheese. How you're supposed to get through that section is you try to give the French guy just a piece of cheese, and he shoots holes in it. And for some reason, when you then attach it to the frog, he thinks it's Swiss cheese, and the plot's a little kind of iffy at this point, but it's funny nonetheless. Like I said, the game doesn't take itself seriously. So with the frog combined with a fully intact piece of cheese, we're going to use this combination on the French guy. Unfortunately, he's not going to be appetized by this.
Racist grandparents have taught me anything, it's that this should work.
And our frog is going to meet an unfortunate demise. A very painful one. Alright, so now we've lost our frog and our cheese. However, we can get both a frog and cheese from Jones. So we just talk to Jones, ask him if he's got any cheese and a frog, and he does. So do you have any cheese? And that'll get you the trophy. Now don't forget, you also have to ask for a frog.
I don't suppose you have.
Alright, so now in order to get past this part, you don't want to combine the frog and the cheese. Now you want to just equip just the cheese. I almost combined it. That would have been a mistake. So just equip just the cheese. Interact with the French guy with the cheese. He'll shoot holes in it.
I've brought a peace offering. A sample of delicious. Do not insult my palate with your bland, insipid, rotten lactose. It pales in comparison to our superior, deliciously aged rotten lactose.
Alright, so now and only now can you combine the holy cheese with the frog. Now use that combination on this guy. For some reason, he thinks the cheese is Swiss cheese now. Don't know why he needs to eat it with the frog. A little disgusting.
Don't let him get away.
Alright, so now that they're off, we need to remove the flag and raise our own. We're getting very close to the end of the game, but first, if you haven't gotten the Schrodinger's cat trophy, go back to the lab. And then we're going to get the while simultaneously no earned trophy. We're going to interact with that box. You won't hear a cat. We'll get the trophy. So you notice I did cut the running back and forth here. Cut it out.
Property of Irvin Schrödinger. The box is sealed shut. Why?
So there you go. It takes part in two different parts. You have to interact with this box while the cat's alive, and then later when it's dead. So you have to have some time between the two events. How much time specifically, I'm not entirely sure. Alright, so heading all the way back to the ship now where the French guys were, you're going to notice a washing machine. Now, you'll also notice we still have our soap, our liquid soap. So first, use the rock on the red button. That'll stop the washing machine. Now, next thing you want to do is equip the washy liquid and then use that on the washing machine. We'll put the soap inside the machine, create some bubbles, and we'll get the trophy. There you go, bubbles. So to progress the story, next thing we need to do is pick up the rock, throw it at that red button once more. Now, we want to pick up the rock once again, use the rock on the machine, and this will destroy the machine. So with the machine out of commission, we can go to the flag. The wine bottle does nothing for us. Interact with the flag. We need to play some music in order to do this.
Prior to being shot, of course. Although I'm fairly certain I pulled something in my throwing arm earlier, so I can empathize. Quickly!
I think I hear someone coming. Will I hoist it now, boyo?
Steady, Jones.
Alright, so you're going to whip out your iPod here, and you're going to have to scroll through some songs here. You want to stop as soon as you find the national anthem. So there you go, God Save the Queen. And that's it, guys. That's the last thing we're going to do. At this point, you got some cutscenes that play out. We're going to get 2 trophies. The gold trophy for completing the game is called That's All We Can Afford. It's a little on the nose there. And then we're going to get the platinum trophy called the Crown Jewels. Oh, the poor French guys. They just lost their ship. So the Americans are going to come. It's going to start raining. A little clever. But I want to thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. Again, it's $18.49 on the PSN store. Hopefully it goes on sale if you're worried about cost. But it is one of the easiest and quickest platinum trophies you can get. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
Why does it always rain in England?